So now I'm going to convert this simple hello world application with JSX. As I have already explained you, let me go to the browser. That our browser understand only JavaScript, but in React we basically don't write JavaScript, instead we write JSX. That is more powerful and more flexible. I've opened up a URL babeljs.io, and that is a translator that convert JSX code into JavaScript so that our browser doesn't freak out and it understands pretty well that what is that code all about. So let me go back to my WebStorm and I'm going to convert this code into a form of JSX. So I'm not going to remove it for now, but just below the previous lines of code I'm going to write my JSX code. So I'm going to write react DOM.render, and inside it I'm going to create an element. Right now I'm going to create h1 element and it has an ID, so I'm gonna name it the ID same as I have written above, and after that I'm gonna give it a class, let's say a message class, and I'm gonna close this tag and I'm going to add hello world as a text within this h1 element. So the first parameter of this render contains the element, and the second parameter is the container that where we want to print this element. Let me remove this, and after writing the comma I'm going to add that text within this container. So I'm going to select this container with the help of its ID. So I'm going to write document dot get element by ID, and I'm going to name that ID. Let me copy the name of ID and I'm going to paste it right here. So I've created this element directly inside this render function, and I have told the React that you need to print this element, everything that is written in between this in this message container, and that is within the div element. To run this I need to do few more things, so let me first comment the previous lines of code, and I need to go to the browser and I need to go to cdnjs.com and I need to search for Babel core, and I'm gonna select the version of this library 5.8.1, and this is the file that we need to be able to write our JSX code. So I'm going to copy this URL browser.min.js. So I'm going to copy this one, go back to our HTML file, and I'm going to add a reference of it like this. Okay, so I've included browser.min.js file in order to write my JSX code. So for running this application, let me run this out. It will generate an error. I'll tell you later that why it generated this error. So I'm gonna click out this icon, Google Chrome. So I'm going to right click, inspect. It has shown me an error. Let me go back to our console. It has shown me unexpected error, that is our less than character. So let me go back to my WebStorm, and in my HTML I need to add the type of this file. Right now I haven't written JavaScript, I have written JSX code, so I don't need to only define the source of that file. Instead I need to define the type of that file. Earlier what we do, we write text/JavaScript, but right now we are using our JSX code, so we need to ask our Babel to convert that JSX code into JavaScript. So the type of that script file needed to be text/Babel instead of text/JavaScript. So I'm going to save this file and save both of these files. Now if I run my file again, you can see that hello world has been printed, and I'm gonna inspect this file. You can see that it has shown me that warning, it is not an error, that I didn't define any class name in h1 because I didn't define this. Actually, I needed to write class name right here, just like I defined above in my basic React application. Now if I go back and reload it, this error has gone. So one thing more I want to show you right in this video is defining the style of this h1 element. So define the style. I'm going to define a variable that is of const, and I'm going to name this variable style, and inside it I'm going to define the background color, and let's say that it has a green color, and after that the text color is white. Okay, so in order to apply this style to this h1 element, I need to write a style property, and within the curly braces I need to define the name of this variable that contains all the properties of that CSS style. If I want to define all these properties directly within this element, I need to write another curly brace, and I can define all the background color and the color or anything that we want to use. So I'm gonna back to write the style variable. I'm gonna save this file again, and I'm gonna run it in my browser. You can see the style has been applied to this text, and our background, our color of the text has been applied. So that's pretty much it for this video. From the next video I'm gonna talking about further about Babel and how it works. So stay tuned, make sure to subscribe my channel and like this video.